like in the marketing, like the propaganda, or maybe the reviews?
He also researched about what people think about lying. So he asked like 50 people, and they tell that the eyes tell when you are lying, like the eyes are like the soul of the the window of the soul and that kind of stuff. But the truth is that eyes not always tell you where if you're lying or not, just some cases.
Yeah. And also what he said was that, for example, one of the things that you can use the most, like for detecting some kind of lies, was not exactly by using face-to-face, because face-to-face is very easy, like to tell a lie, and not exactly like to detect that lie. So the other way, like to detect that kind of things, was by using the social networks and, for example, the recording of textings and emails. Because in that kind of things, because everything is recorded, you can see and analyze every part of the speech of one person, and even detect where is the lie and what is he or she telling about that is not exactly the truth.
And also what Hancock found is that in the reviews, or maybe in the propagandas, the way that we can find like the cues, or maybe the clues, is that when the review is only talk about like the person, or maybe it's talk about maybe not about the objective of the lie, it's just about you, and that's why that's where you can find the lie. And when people is not lying, it's when they are talking about the objective of what you're talking about, or maybe the physical space. It's not only about you. And for example, well,
there was, for example, a little analyzing, research about how business of Chicago hotels is one example of that kind of lies, because people that wasn't really there talks more about him or herself, and about who was with him or with her, and how was all that, because they want like to focus on that kind of things instead of saying how was, for example, the space or the rooms and all that kind of things, because they don't have the idea.
Yes, and what as we conclude about the conference and what we think is that maybe all people lie. We all lie, but all people lie. But maybe we can think. Maybe we should think about what we are going to lie, because maybe that lie will be more bigger.
Yeah.
So maybe it would be like a bad consequence. And also maybe we should think about if we need that lie, if we want to be in that lie. And
because it's part of our legacy also. For example, in the ancient ages it was very different, because nothing was recorded, and nowadays everything is recorded. We live in a generation where everybody is texting and is using email and, for example, social networks, and everything can be recorded and also be taken from the past to be analyzed again. So because of that, we think that it's correct that what Hancock said, that we have to think a little bit more about what we are saying.
That's all.
We need just a couple of minutes to conclude this. What do you learn from this?
Maybe how people lie and why, and what that we have to think about more. Well, when you are like in Facebook and and social networks, you don't realize how well the consequences of lying. So we have to like think a little bit more.
And also to see and not to be like part of the like Hanko said about the Chinese water army, that it's more like marketing. For me, it's I don't really like be a part of that marketing because it is bad. That kind of marketing manage like the feelings of the person. So maybe that's a bad type of lie.
Mariana?
Well, that you have to include that kind of information while using, for example, the social networks and all that kind of things. And to be, I think, the more honest possible because everything is recorded and everything's going to be recorded also in the future. So maybe, I don't know, people from the future or in the future can see and can read and can watch what we were talking and what we were thinking about in this time. So
Thank
it's
you.
very transcendental.
Yes. Thank you.
That's it.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Okay, so they're gonna get